all day. Joining me now to discuss, friend of mine, MSNBC contributor Torre, and Mike Pesca, an NPR contributor and host of The Gist, Slate's daily podcast. I want to start with this one. Ivanka Trump. First daughter-elect. She may be occupying a White House office, but it is still unclear what her role is going to be. There's a lot of talk about it, but many believe, especially based on what she's done in the last few weeks, she's going to have a prominent role. She's going to be focused on women's issues. Well, Elle magazine put out a scathing piece saying that, please, women's issues, what Ivanka has said she's passionate about, all she's going to do is distract from them. And they went so far as to say, in terms of feminism, it's been more about feminist marketing. And if you actually look at what she's done in the past, it was her marketing team that really built this persona around her. And if you look at the position she's in, to say, I'm going to look at climate change, right? Climate change, be the climate czar. You meet with Leonardo DiCaprio, you meet with Al Gore, and then you're surrounded by people in the cabinet who are, at the very least, climate change questioners. In terms of women's issues, what is Ivanka going to do if Donald Trump appoints a Supreme Court justice who wants to overturn Roe v. Wade? So I get it. We're going to build a brand, but a brand of what?
We don't even need to go that far to talk about SCOTUS. They're already talking about day one. They know how they can kill funding, federal funding for Planned Parenthood, right? Changing the lives of millions of American women, right? Where is Ivanka going to be on that? Is she going to be going to him and saying, Dad, you can't do this. American women need this. This is better for America, that women have the choice to do what they want to do with their body? She'd rather talk about the choices that women have to what they put on their body. Shop like Ivanka. Wear my bracelet. What about what they do with their bodies? Where is she going to be on that? This article is so smart in terms of dealing with how she protects him from his sexism by being that exceptional woman. So if you're like Ivanka, then you can supersede sexism, right? When she says, like, there's no sexism. My dad promoted me very high. That's not what we're talking about.
Because that's never happened before, because a sexist man has never doted on his daughter. In fact, throughout history they have. Here's the way I think about it, a broader way, to think all about Trump. One theory I have is that, why does he tweet? He likes chaos. He could be the strong man who comes in, who defines the chaotic situation. Let's turn to him. But the other thing, a mainstay of his governing will be to govern by anecdote. So the real policies are these Supreme Court justices. The real policies are denying birth control. The anecdote is, here's Ivanka. Just like Harrier was the anecdote and the policy is trade. So it's a gigantic distraction. And to go back to your original question, what's her role going to be? Brand extension.
If it's brand extension, and that seems to be what listen, Team Trump is fantastically talented at brand building. That is how we got here. Do you believe they understand the ramifications of, this is a change election. We're not going to stand for this. Ivanka is poised, talented, smart, sophisticated. She's about to put herself in a very hot seat.
Yes, but I think that this helps her. This helps her sales. This helps, when they turned around and tried to market the watch that she was wearing.
Bracelet.
Not only is it oh, of course, sorry. Not only is it a bracelet, the bracelet was in a meeting with the head of state.
It's weird the way that he has sexualized her over and over throughout the years, and now she's becoming a sort of First Lady Monkey in some way. Like, this is just weird stuff.
Torre, I don't talk about Donald Trump and sex before 10 a.m. I have to change the subject. I'm sorry. And I do want to say, though, that bracelet, her team said it was a marketing mistake.
Yeah.
They were working out.
Because there was blowback.
Yeah, it was.
All right.
Someone objected.
All right. Okay. I want to change the subject to something that I cannot believe. A&E's got a new show coming out. Ready for the name? It's called Generation KKK. It's a documentary series. It's kind of a reality show, basically, premiering next month, focusing on family members of those within the KKK who try to distance themselves from the violent hate group. Is your mind blown a little bit that a show about the KKK is if you're doing a documentary type series, you're really taking a risk here, and maybe a risk of normalizing maybe the most storied hate group in America.
I mean, I imagine
I'm going Mike first. You were first last time.
I haven't seen it, and there's a way for them to pull it off. Here's what gives me pause. In the history of reality television, has there ever been a show without characters who are likable? Do people ever tune into a show with entirely irredeemable characters? So even if these people are terrible, and even if these people are so full of hate and so racist, you have to find silver linings. You have to find ways to, and they could always do this in editing, or they could construct the narrative where you have 2 or 3 sympathetic characters, and then immediately we're asked to empathize. Yeah, we're asked
I don't know.
to
There was like a
empathize
Road
with the
Rules
Klansmen.
season in there, or Real World LA. I don't think I liked anybody. All right, Torre.
You know, we have seen since the election the rise of media saying, let's cover professional racists. Let's see what they have to say. So we see a lot of Dick Spencer. We see a lot of, who was this other one who was hanging out with Charlemagne the God? You know, just Tory, whatever, right? And then she was on Trevor Noah. I mean, like, this is disgusting. And I want media in general, stop the anthropological look at professional racists. We are not learning anything from this. And the notion of we're going to give them a bigger platform now because part of them is part of the Trump constituency. This is disgusting. We don't need to give them this light at all. I don't want to hear any more interviews with Dick Spencer at all. We're learning
Okay, then we're going to stay on learning his lessons. CeeLo Green, a viral video of CeeLo everybody has been talking about. I want you to take a look. The video shows the cell phone apparently exploding in his hand before he falls to the ground. But now CeeLo is asking his fans for forgiveness, saying he's fine. Okay, so the question is, like, was this a fake? What was he doing? Torre, you're a music aficionado.
Well, from what he's saying, what he's explained, this was part of a larger project, a video that he was making for something else. It looks like one of those like movie superhero like Inception moments, right? The phone explodes, which gives him the powers of the phone, so now he has a psychic mind or something like that. He was playing. This is, I mean, like, I don't think the Samsung phone explodes in quite that way, right? So, you know,
They don't let you turn on a Galaxy 7 on a commercial flight.
On any flight, that's
maybe
crazy.
On a private, maybe. Mike, what's your take?
I'm just wondering, what's the larger project? Does he back into a Pinto? Is it product testing? Is it fight back with David Horowitz, but CeeLo's the product tester? Maybe if he wanted an iPhone, he could have just asked for an iPhone rather than go through this charade.
I know that I do not want any